everybody. It's another week, another meaty episode, another grisly, bloody episode of Game of Thrones. So we are here for Gametrailers of Thrones, the Gametrailers crew of fans of A Song of Ice and Fire, including myself, Brandon Jones, Mr. Ryan Stevens.
Hello.
Mr. Marco Rosado.
Hello.
And Mr. Jeremy Hoffman.
Squishy noise.
So, yeah, we have all watched this episode. We are going to watch it again, which is a sacrifice on all of our parts, but we're willing to do it for you guys.
We have to do this
And,
quickly, though.
Yeah, we got to run through this because it is E3, and lots of other news is happening, obviously. Even just today, Monday, we had lots of fun game announcements. So we're going to try to hustle through this as fast as we can. Might have to skip through some scenes. Also going to be light on the editing, so if you guys are used to showing images of who the heck we're talking about, possibly even some spoiler dragon coverage, we apologize. So if you fear spoilers, we're getting close to the end of the show. So
yeah, I think we'll stay spoiler free.
Just try to be respectful.
Yeah.
We see in the intro again. We need to talk about because we see Mo Kalen for the first time.
Okay, so we did, right? I was like, that's different. Okay.
And Marco, you commented that we hear about Mo Kalen a lot, but we don't actually go there.
Mo Kalen's not a big location, I don't think, in the books. Like, I mean, it's important.
It's there a few times,
but it's not like a place where characters hang out.
Shouldn't be on the map.
Am I the only one who thinks of Cat every time it's brought up?
Yeah, the name. Yeah.
Cat? Wait, what?
Just because it's named.
Yeah, no.
It's just like
okay.
Written by the show creators.
Okay, so yeah, we're watching the show live. So
I can't remember what the first scene was. Oh yeah, so Gilly gets saved, obviously.
By the worst owl sounds in the world.
Right, meeting. Hey, look up here! Look up here! Gets saved by Ygritte, which is an interesting, leading up obviously into the big fight that's going to happen.
Pardoned by her. I don't know if I'd throw out the word saved, right?
Yeah,
Let her live.
Yeah, stepped over.
It's interesting to me. I know Ygritte, like, she's a wildling and she's been around wildlings all her life. Can she tell that Gilly is a wildling? Like, I mean, she looks different than all the other. I mean, maybe to me. I don't know.
Well, she can tell right away. Like, she can just tell from her being there with the baby. But don't you remember that she came up to ask her when she was admitted there? She's like, where'd you get the baby from? She's like, oh, she's from up north. And
yeah, people can tell she's a wildling. Yeah. So when an Ygritte sees her, she's like, okay, this is one of us. And maybe she did know, maybe she didn't. I don't know.
Just that wild
maybe it was
smell.
A moment of compassion.
Yeah, but no compassion. It's like why would they kill one of them?
I really like the little bar talk leading into this, though, like kind of little slice of life of the What do they call the common people? What do they call the common people? Small folk or something.
Small, yeah.
The small
with their
folk,
small clothes. I thought this was good. She was fun. Like, it wasn't like laugh out loud funny, but it was like, this is the kind of bullshit they'd be talking about back then. I thought it was pretty good to step away from the soldiers and the lords and ladies.
It also
kind of
just
see this
shows that at this point Jon has been warning them for weeks that the wildlings are coming. We've heard rumors that they're down south. We've seen people have been attacked.
Like that little boy,
and it just shows no one's that worried. Like, they're just this threat that's way far off until they're not.
Yeah, when you see them partying, like, it kind of reminds this is like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, you sink down a little window and they're like singing a beer. That's how it seemed to me. But yeah, it
cool. Just shows that there's no prep at Castle Black right now, right? Like, they have, they know that the wildlings are coming. They're ignoring Jon, and they're like, we're gonna go drink and party and have fun.
Love the blood seeping through the floorboards up above. Definitely a very strong sound cue on that one with the drip drip of thousands of people being, or dozens of people being slaughtered upstairs. Go to the wall. I love this scene at the wall because I've spoken a lot on this show about it. I love just the distance is represented on this show. You really get a feeling that this world is massive, and these guys are just stuck. The wall is so huge, but they're such a small part of it, and everything. It's like. You're at the 1 yard line and some huge linebackers just running at you, and it's kind of nice that they can pause and just have a drink together, and that they're all not crapping their pants. They're like, well, we signed up for this. We knew this was going to happen. I'm not even thinking that will I survive this? I'm thinking, okay, what then after I die? What happens after that?
And it reinstates Sam is not the same one-dimensional character he is in the books. He's blubbery, but he's a bit different. It's always nice to see where
there's more backbone in the show.
It's always nice to see where the show and the books kind of differentiate. In the book, he's comical. I guess season 1 he was a bit like that, but
I think when you put a guy acting the role, you have to you can't be a cartoon,
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
I like what they did with him though, in general.
And as long as we're talking about The Wall, the preview for the next episode was entirely The Wall.
I didn't watch it.
And Hoffman and I were talking about. They didn't show anything else but The Wall.
First thing we say, no spoiler dragons. Jones just opening up.
Blah.
Well, no, I'm just talking about.
I know.
Yeah, surprise. The next episode will be at The Wall.
Production.
The wildlings will attack.
Production note is that episode 9 is usually a big episode.
Yeah.
And then with season 2, you got a big battle, and usually it's like a big execution. And they go big execution, big battle, big execution, big battle.
Right.
So this season we're due for a big battle in season.
You know, we've had kind of mentally our countdown of characters that need to die this season, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna get through most of that list. Arya has her list. I think the book readers have their list of by the end of this plot point, this guy needs to be dead.
But we're running out of people we really hate. I think.
I don't know. I mean, if you
I don't hate the Boltons that much.
Were you not on the internet last night? Because there were people so angry at the end of this episode. I mean, we have a new monster to focus on next season.
Yeah, we do. But I think without Joffrey, I think the show. Joffrey was like a big source of the hate.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on how much they're going to bring in Ramsay.
Hot pie.
Ramsay Bolton now.
But Ramsay hasn't wronged. He hasn't killed any of the kids. He hasn't attacked personally. It's just tortured Theon. So as opposed to killing Ned Stark.
Yeah.
Or torturing Sansa.
Yeah, but he's a psychopath, right?
He's a sociopath. Yeah, but
yeah,
his scenes are almost funny in some ways. When you see him in Moat Cailin, it's like,
and
have peace, and then the guy's flayed on the wall.
And those are all Book 5 things happening in this season, right?
Yeah, pretty much, right?
But more importantly, it's raining men. Hallelujah. Some comeuppance for all the full frontal female nudity that's happened on the show.
Yeah, we're watching the river scene with the Unsullied.
Grey Worm.
Yeah.
What is your conspiracy theory that may or may not be spoiler dragons with Grey Worm in the translator?
Sandy.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, that they're
brother and sister.
No, I didn't say that.
I said that. That was a rumor. I thought.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. But
she's from.
I was smoking crack. I thought that.
Suthros, right? She's
crack
from
good.
the other island.
Yeah,
So,
and even canonically, in the book too. Yeah, I think
that ass.
Here, the twist is that he's gonna I thought he was gonna, stand from the river and bam, he still has it, and I was like, oh shit.
What did they call it? The twigs and the stones?
No, the pillars and the
pillar and stones.
Because what's his face? The spider is completely cut, right?
Yeah.
Did they ever actually say in the book
He
how
says,
cut the Unsullied are though?
No.
They don't say.
No,
I remember.
But I would assume it's everything.
I remember there's a part where they say that they'll buy a prostitute and just lay next to her. That was a part in the book because they're because they're becoming their own people now a bit.
Yeah, but if you don't have the stones, then you can still work with it. But I mean, are we really talking about this?
Oh no, I was just
There were emails about it this morning, guys. I don't know.
This is the one show that has 4 men talking about.
We obviously did not watch Silicon Valley last night.
Yeah.
There's
so
more
funny.
dick talk and
So funny.
The best dick joke I've ever I've seen on TV at this point. Okay, yeah, let's skip past this. These two and their weird love scene.
A little note, that's not in the book, by the way.
Yeah, it's definitely not in the book. In the book, he almost has a crush on Danny. It feels like at points. Where
all the Danny
all the dudes have so it's nice to see not everyone going after Danny.
I don't feel like Grey Worm ever bucks his Unsullied nature in the books.
He starts calling himself I later, doesn't he?
I don't. I'm just saying in general, his affront versus. I don't know.
He's not a super central character in the book.
Yeah.
But he's cool. But
I think he does a good job though of really selling that.
Oh no, the actor's
fish
fantastic.
out of water, where this guy really speaks
when he talks
differently, acts differently, fights differently.
The Masters killed the Masters. I thought that little monologue.
He may also had a theory that he may take over some of the Strong Belwas.
Everyone's
later,
some
right?
of that.
So there's a character in the book
we see him
that we haven't seen that has some roles later that I think they may just give it to Grey Worm.
Adding on to
that scene in the Coliseum, if they give it to Grey Worm, it's not gonna be.
Oh, people like him though so much.
It makes sense.
Yeah, he's giving it to a central character.
Oh, is this the moat?
So adding on to the beautiful scenery that we've seen so far, I'm really impressed by the cinematography this season. I mean, it's always been great, but just some really amazing shots. We see Moat Cailin from a distance here as Theon's approaching. Before the Viper fight, there's an awesome shot of King's Landing where you see the whole castle from way down at the water's edge. But yeah, again, just to help setting up the scale, very swampy. A location was described a lot of times in the books, but you were saying we don't actually go there.
Yeah, well, scale-wise, like you said, it's cool that we're getting all these establishing shots.
Yeah.
Like Season 2 especially, I just rewatched it a few months ago, and there was no establishing shots. Like, oh, Theon, I just got a Winterfell. It's like, well, how, you don't see it. Here you're getting establishing shots of every city. And when he's with his father, the Bolton army, you see the whole army behind him. Well, it's like, okay, these guys.
Talking about his distance, right? Isn't he like 800 miles that way, 300 miles that way?
The Knopf.
Well, I think
they show a map too.
Even reading the book, you forget how big the North is.
Well, Jeremy, you own the maps.
I do. I own I think I have the whole map book, which is great. You guys should buy it.
The North is like saying Canada. It's like it's big. Yeah.
Well, yeah, right? They say it's bigger than all the kingdoms combined, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the line?
Yeah.
Is that the line in the books?
I don't know if it's a straight line, but it's it's said like that. It's hinted at multiple times.
No one can hold the North.
The North is no, but I'm just saying no one comes right out and says the North is the biggest. Like they reference it as being huge. They don't always compare it to the other six, but it's definitely the biggest out of all of them. I mean, this Theon line. It's just once again he looks so broken. He's just like...
But he's actually rebuilt for this scene, too.
Yeah. But he's not. Like, you would tell in the end here, he's ready to, crack.
This is the guy behind the guy.
He breaks, the last 5 seconds of this, he totally breaks, and he's basically saved,
I love the dude behind... The guy that gets killed, though. Like, the whole time, he's just looking at him like, what are you... Why aren't we leaving?
Well, like, in the book, isn't it like, are they, like, really happy to see him and stuff in the book?
They knew him, and
this murder happens, right? This murder happens in the, whatchamacallit,
yeah, it's
in
the
book.
It's the same deal. Where the
but I felt like everyone else, when they see him on the road, they're like, oh, God, thank you. Because, like, they have, like, the bloody pox or something going on.
Yeah, they're like...
No food, away from the water.
Yeah, they don't know how to live.
Oh, man.
They do not know how to sew.
Well, that's the thing. That is their catchphrase. We do not sow.
Right.
But he does not say that here. He says, "What cannot be killed does not die," or something.
No, that's
their religion.
So that's the religion.
Okay.
We do not sow is the family motto,
right.
not all. Yeah. Then the we cannot die or what dies
what
cannot stay dead. What is?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
What drowns can? It's the drown god shit. Like
his dead may never die.
Die. There you go.
I think though, like this whole scene, and then with the stuff that happened in Winterfell previously. Balon Greyjoy's plan was kind of weird to begin with. Like, just take over all this land.
Balon Greyjoy never had a good plan.
Yeah,
Balon Greyjoy, much like Walder Frey, like is way too caught up in what they used to be. Like thousands of years ago, their families had some power and more power than they do now, and they still just can't get over the fact that these new families that have now been in, air quotes, new families that have been in control for 2,000 years are still running the kingdom. It's like they're just so caught up in like the ancestral like
incest
problems and bullshit that's happened to them that they can't get over like where they are in the world now.
This is my new desktop wallpaper.
Yeah, that is gruesome.
He got skinned.
That's like Hellraiser 2. You see the rib cage imprint over the tendons. It's really well done, but it is gross.
Yeah, you guys should go look at my Instagram feed. I made a prime rib last night, and the juices flowing out of the prime rib look just like his ribs. So,
nice.
So it's good.
He does look really
nice
delicious.
And bloody.
But I mean, we see their flayed man flags that they carry around, and it's like that's what that means. That's what they do.
Well, and again,
that's how they roll.
The bastard.
Anything they could have put on their flag, that represents them.
If I can compare the books to the show without spoiling anything, in the books, it's like Theon vanishes, and like Cat gets like a bit of his flayed finger skin, and like you don't see him for like books.
Not Cat.
I thought it was Cat. The mom?
Asher in the book, and
wait, who's
Theon's mom?
No.
Caitlyn?
Really?
No.
Yeah, she gets like and she doesn't care because her mind just doesn't.
Maybe in the very beginning.
But like
you're
you don't
right.
see
or does
him.
He get sent to Rob or
you
something?
don't see him for like what, 3 books or something, like 2 books maybe.
Yeah.
And then all of this was book 5, so it is interesting.
It's all like flashback.
But the flailing is like it is so disgusting.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing.
But you see in Mortal Kombat all the time. It's like yeah.
Yeah.
But then you see it here. And
this is more photorealistic.
Well, I know, yeah, but just goes to say.
Also, just as from an editing standpoint, love that jarring thing where you're like, oh, we've gone somewhere else to look at some corpse, and it's like, oh my god, that's the guy we were just looking at. That's terrible, and kind of a fun thing to do.
This was a well-edited episode, actually, in general.
We have now moved on to the Eyrie, where Littlefinger is on trial, and we get.
Is it a trial?
Evil Sansa.
I think it's like it's not a trial as much as it is a.
This is your big note. Yeah. This isn't in the book, right?
It will be.
Right, because the last time we saw Littlefinger and Sansa is the push in the books.
So
yes,
no,
right?
No. Okay, so here's the thing. In book 4, Sansa's stuff takes place over the whole book, and it's just her hanging out with Robin, and Robin is sick, or he's like weirdo, and Littlefinger scheming with all the politicians, whatever. But really, not much happens other than Littlefinger just preaching to Sansa about court politics, about the realm, all this crap. And you can kind of see like, okay, he's grooming Sansa to become like a schemer like him, which is cool. Whereas here, like, it looks like Sansa just put it together in her head. It's like, okay, I can play this game. Like, I know.
Well, but he has been grooming her over the last couple of weeks. Like
not just her, but Cersei and everyone else.
Well, right. So this is what I got into the talk with my friend that we were watching with it last night. Littlefinger always thinks he's the smartest person in the room, right? Like, and with Sansa here, thinks he's her teacher. He's like, I'm going to teach you everything I know. The problem is she's also learned everything Cersei's known for the last couple of years. She's learned some tricks from Lady Olenna. She's learned some tricks from Marjorie. And those are very important.
And Littlefinger can't teach her.
He can't, but also how to use those powers as a woman. Because later in the episode, when he goes into her room, she is completely dressed down. She's more like a little girl. She's not dressed up for him. And once they have that talk where she pretty much says, I know what you want. The only thing you want in this kingdom is right in front of you, and he agrees to it. When she comes down the stairs later in the episode, she is dressed up and she's playing that role. She knows that, like, and once again, Littlefinger still thinks he's smarter than her.
I think he is smarter than her.
He is, but I think she has tools in her belt that he doesn't know about.
Okay, I'm going to say...
Like he's never been able to use his boobs to get what he wants, right?
Controversial.
Where she has a little bit of, like... She has some of those lady skills that Cersei obviously used in the Small Council. Everyone always looked down on Cersei, never took her serious. Same thing because she's a woman. Same thing with Sansa. Not everyone's taking her serious.
I'm going to posit...
I don't think Littlefinger will take her as serious as he should.
I'm going to posit that... And no one's going to agree with me, but like I think Littlefinger took a gamble here.
In this scene specifically,
I think he is as smart as he's been. You've seen him be in the past, and he took a gamble. Like they knew there was going to be witnesses and stuff like that, and he has coerced Sansa to the point where it's like when you watch a stupid Saw movie and the people do exactly what Jigsaw wanted them to do. I mean, it's retarded, but I mean that kind of stuff kind of happens. I'm gonna be in the boat that like Littlefinger is still running the game, and he took a gamble with how Sansa would react.
I would say this isn't outside of his cone of vision. Like you probably imagined that this could have been a possibility.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that he wasn't planning on this. Yeah. I'm just saying that all of the kids, right? Like every one of them, and this is what we've been talking about a lot. You look at Dany. Dany doesn't have one advisor. She has 4 with her. Like maybe 3 at the end of this episode. Same thing. Like Arya hasn't learned how to kill just from Jon. Like Jon used to teach her how to play with swords. Then she had her sword, her water dancer, and now she has the hand. Like every one of the, so every single person that are teaching these children thinks that they're kind of the first teacher for them, and that they're the smartest one and the best in that role, where they forget that they've had other training before from other people, right? Yeah. Like it's just kind of that multifaceted.
And the scene's also a bit of a cheat. I mean, I don't think anyone thought Littlefinger was like this is. I think going past book stuff, but I'm not positive.
I thought this happened in the book.
Did it?
Okay. It happened in the book, but it wasn't a trial.
But what I'm saying is, I think they were trying to do like a switcheroo. I think people thought when Sansa revealed that she's Sansa, that people thought Littlefinger's going to be toast.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting that at all.
It's so brilliant for her to like.
But I think some people.
Now I'll believe.
Well, I'm saying I think like the script writers I think were trying to give you the idea that this is it for Littlefinger, and I never thought that for a second.
Well, you've read the books,
but
right?
I didn't think this was in the books.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, yeah, I think if you remember back in season 2, Littlefinger brings Ned's bones to Cat.
Yep.
And then it's like, how dare you come here? It's like, Cat, please. And he completely changes. He's not like the cool, composed guy. He's like a little kid crying for like attention, And you can see that he can be like that with Sansa. And I think Sansa can sense that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. She knows his one weakness. His one weakness is her.
Yeah.
So all the tricks that he's ever used to play his game, that's the one trick he doesn't have.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's never wanted something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wants things, but he's never, like,
That's
needed...
his childhood obsession.
He's never needed something like her, right? Like, so the fact that he does, she knows that, and she knows... Sure, he's smarter than her. Yes, he has a lot of the power, but she has 1 or 2 cards in her deck, right?
And then
She's gone from having 0 cards at King's Landing to now she's got 1. She's got 1 thing to hold on to. Like,
no, but it's think about this. Like, Littlefinger, Varys said, is the most dangerous man in Westeros, right? And pretty much a lot of people can agree with that. And something I mentioned earlier, I thought about earlier, is like, okay, Robb had his armies.
Yeah.
That's a source of his power. Bran has his magic. Arya has her,
whatever
killer
she's
ability.
doing.
Her vengeance.
And Sansa has her Littlefinger.
Yeah.
That's her sword. That's her weapon. No, but it's really like that, and she's gonna use him to get back at Cersei, to get back at all these guys.
I think the main counter of Littlefinger, like, really orchestrating all this stuff and being the puppet master the whole time, is the scene when he comes in and she's in her bedroom. Because you would think you'd go in and be like, wow, that was great. That worked out wonderful. You're really smart. Way to go. Let's go on and be happy. But he's, like, accusatory. He's like, are you fucking with me? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What was that about in there?
She's
like,
the first one that's ever kind of... Like, I think he knew he was getting out of that situation. I think he may have had a plan to get out of that situation. Her revealing all that was not his plan.
But then he surprised her.
And then
he surprised her.
And they've both been surprised by each other.
No, but he was surprised by her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry,
like,
yes. I flipped it.
Just that he has to check in with her on her motivations.
That's the thing. It's like she has that one thing.
It's like don't get cocky. Don't think you can do that all the time.
But he's also like he's never been a 16-year-old girl with widow or orphan, that's an orphan. Like she knows she could play that card with the old lady. Like is this Lady Hardwood? Is that who that is?
No clue.
I can't remember.
I like the casting though,
but it's just like it's very like she's picked up some
Everyone's
skills.
So pale with Eerie.
She every time she didn't say anything at King's Landing and she watched how Cersei acted, she learned something there.
Well, she's finally in the Game of Thrones, right?
That's what I'm saying. She finally
has
her
one
card. She has one card now, so she gets to play. She doesn't have a deck. Littlefinger has the rest of the deck. She's got one card, so she's allowed to play at the table.
She owns the deck, though, because she can pretty much tell, like, hey, if you want me, you gotta kill this guy, you gotta do this, you gotta get back Winterfell. It's like, yes, my lady.
I love
that. That's what I'm saying. She's gonna start stealing cards from it, right? Like, she's gonna start pulling that in.
So
this scene last night when he gets...
So Sir Barristan is confronting Jorah, and I totally ignored, I missed this, the map shot.
The map shot's so
cool. Great setup.
It puts it because
to show the distance between Marina King.
Because in the books they're different pages, I think half the time, and it is called the Narrow Sea.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean you're looking out. It's not
good.
Far. Like
it's good.
Well, it's two maps overlaid each other. Do you see where
the distance to King's Landing is not the problem. It's who's going. Like, what are we bringing? How many?
How are we?
What's the size of my army when we do that? Like the journey won't take that long actually, but. Oh, I've been waiting for this. And this is one of those Daenerys cards, really just plot cards, that they could have done this at the beginning of the season, they could have done this next season if they wanted to.
Yep.
And so just to throw it in right at the end and have this final betrayal. We were talking about even Grey Worm being kind of like entranced by Daenerys. I like how they all huddle around her and they're just like, it's like popular girls in high school. It's like, you're not in the club anymore.
Well, do you think with him leaving and Grey Worm getting these extra scenes along with Strong Belwas, they really are trying to like appreciate Grey Worm even more?
I think he's going to become a bigger... I mean, we've said that there's
only so much you can do with Daenerys, right?
Yeah.
Because there's only so many people on this continent.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, she has to meet up. I mean, we'll keep it spoiler light, but certain things have to happen for her to make her next move. And she's got a while, I feel like, until those other things can happen, so it's just like...
I like... There's an interesting parallel, between this scene and the scene before it. I like when Littlefinger's like, okay, that's totally cool, you can talk to Sansa. Let me talk to her for like 3 minutes. They're like, nope, we're bringing you in immediately.
That's a little darky.
And Jorah kind of does the same thing, where he's just like, okay, cool, let me talk to Daenerys for like 5 minutes.
Like, nope.
That's the line.
What stage of denial is that?
You'll never be in a room
you'll never be alone with her again.
So here's my... I was trying to, understand this yesterday. Tywin sends a letter through Varys.
I don't know how this happened.
Me neither. I don't why Barristan receives the letter.
Why does Barristan get the letter now?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Well, Barristan gets the letter.
But why?
Why does he get the letter?
Right. Well,
was it a stag head
from a little kid?
Stamp?
So it's one of the little birds.
Maybe
from Varys.
I was going to say Varys. Yeah. Varys or Tywin.
Yeah, but
probably Varys. Maybe
it's
Tywin.
Tywin's plan to send that old letter of pardon that was already made for Jorah but never sent. Or was it sent?
I don't know.
No,
not in
because
the show.
Not in the
okay,
show,
not
I
in the
don't
show,
think.
yeah, but it's like, okay, let me troll Danny's court by starting to, make him
I
split
don't
apart.
know if that works though.
I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I definitely don't know.
Spoiler Dragon.
Definitely don't know who is pulling this string right now.
Well, we know that
Maybe the mail's
he
just
wanted
late.
to. That's no. Because I went back to season
Why
one.
would it go to Barris?
In season one, a kid goes to Jorah and tells him you've been pardoned already, and then it's time to go home or something like that. Yeah,
stay,
and then he's like, "Oh shit, that means they're gonna kill Danny," and he goes to her, and that's when they're poisoning her. So it's like, okay, he was already pardoned. He just never got the letter.
That happens in season 1.
In season 1, yes.
They tell him he's pardoned.
Yes, a kid goes to
season 1. When...
Season 1, just
before
before
Danny's
Danny's
season
poisoning.
1.
Okay,
but I didn't realize he got a pardon.
No,
a
kid went to tell him that.
Oh, okay.
And was obviously one of Varys' birds.
She's so angry at him right now. It's amazing.
Oh, it's good.
He's got the tears, the tears in his eyes.
I love how Daenerys is like split personality, but not like crazy. Like Cersei's kind of like Cersei's not crazy, but you know what I mean. Like Cersei's kind of all over the place and stable. Dany is like, I'm a young woman. I'm also the mother of dragons, and sometimes she's like the no shit.
Never forget. She's like, I will never forget this stuff. That has to be my job to never actually forget how emotionally impacted.
And she's doing it with like one of her dearest friends right now.
Well, that's like her father figure almost, I would say.
Yeah.
Even though her father loves her.
It's the first person she trusted.
Yeah.
And I mean her child is really the straw that breaks the camel's back here.
You weren't gonna kill my child.
Yeah. It's like
when was the last time we saw any of the Blood Riders, by the way, that stayed with her?
That I feel like
did we see them at all this
Show.
season?
They've wrote that out of the show.
Maybe when they attacked Marine.
I know they were vomiting on the boat at one point. That wasn't this season, was it?
So Lord of the Friend Zone becomes Lord of the Nothing now.
Yeah,
it's not even the Friend
Zone.
Zone
shot with the city in the background.
Oh yeah, very.
But it's all like in the background of just a great image of scale. Another great image of scale here outside of Moat Cailin with.
I love the Boltons. I don't know. People don't care about them, but I just love Roose Bolton, like that actor.
Oh,
he just gets better.
No, he's such a good supporting character. I mean, he is one of the best. He is the best scene in the Red Wedding, and he doesn't even do anything. The armor under his cuff, under his suit, like is just
no. But how he explains to Kat about Frey told me that if I marry one of his daughters, he'll give me her weight in gold or silver, whatever. And it's like then you see his wife with like his huge lady. It's like okay. Like, you see what kind of character he's in. The way he just nonchalant about it. He's just, like,
he reminds
really
me of
cool.
Tyrion. Not Tyrion, Tywin.
Tywin, yeah.
He's like a Tywin. Yeah, he's a Tywin.
He's not a lot. I mean, not a one-to-one, but, like, he is, like, he's a Tywin archetype, right?
But Tywin gets angry. Bolton never gets angry.
But he looks disappointed. He always has a look on his face. It's just like, I don't like you. I don't trust you.
Well, this part's weird, because when he gives him his last name... In the book, he has, like, monologues to himself. He never has a point of view chapter, but he talks to someone about how...
To Theon.
It's through Theon.
Is it like, my legacy is this kid's fucked up and I know it, but this is my legacy. He knows his kid's a fucking monster.
Yeah. Oh, and to Arya, because in the book he was in Harrenhal. Roose Bolton was.
Oh
in
yeah,
yes.
that was that. He had the Tywin scene.
Yeah, he had the Tywin scene. So again,
maybe
how
that's
the characters
what it was.
are alike. But Bolton, like, he never raises his voice. He's just, I think he is a cooler player than Tywin. Because Tywin kind of gets his nerves, get the best of him sometimes.
Tywin's a lion.
He's a lion.
Hear him roar.
I think the only flaw maybe is that his intentions are a little unclear. He's just kind of...
I would say that. He's like going for like a person. He wants
to see what Tywin wants.
Well, no, he's going to be Ward of the North. Right, that's what he wants.
Like he pretty much said it last night.
Took over the North.
He's like, I'm in charge of the North. I need to have a family.
The Stark kids are obviously a thorn in the side, but he. I don't know. I would say it's more like Tywin is fighting the war on every angle, and I would say Roose was fighting more of like a very specific shadow war.
Well, like, I don't think Roose wants to take over the Seven Kingdoms.
No, he's cool with the North.
That's what I say. Like he's done now. Like in his mind, he's happy. He's out of it. Like. Yeah, there might be
Winterfell.
There might be one Stark kid lost in the woods or not, like, but he's not that worried about it.
So is this the guy you meant? Is this who the internet wants to kill now?
Oh no, I was saying the Mountain. People are so angry about the Viper.
Yeah, I mean, now we're gonna get the Viper scenes after this, but yeah, once the final shot, people didn't know this was Winterfell. I had to like watching the show with people. It's like, that's Winterfell. I mean, it's like, oh shit, they're going to Winterfell. Okay.
Yeah.
So is that the is that the flayed man Sigil?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just noticed on this episode. I don't know how I didn't
down,
notice before. It's an upside down man.
Yeah,
I thought it was the right side up.
No, in the books I think they're upside down as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
The blood drains or some madness. I don't know.
Oh, from
They're
the neck
terrible.
faster or something.
So real quick, did we skip ahead to the Sansa scene?
Yeah, I just.
So Sansa we saw, and we kind of already talked about it. It's like she downplays it and downplays her looks and
goes and gets ready for a big costume change.
Now we're the Hound and Arya.
This was
and
great.
I think this is funny. I can see people not liking this.
People are real confused by this.
I thought this was funny, but I mean, it shows. I mean, it just reinforces who Arya is now, and who she always was. Honestly,
she's a.
Right?
I mean, she's a realist, and she's just like the fact that it's like every single person. Like this is now what the third time she's got within 50 feet of a family member, and she's like,
died.
oh, and they're dead now.
But,
okay, great.
She says some good stuff. She's like, I've never met my aunt. You know, like there's some good backing here.
So she's running out of people she knows in her family,
and people,
and it's just like it's his only hope.
And it's not wide knowledge that Sansa's there, right?
No one knows. I think it's just those three in there, or the other ones that know.
So okay,
and the Vale is supposed to be like one of the most defensible positions on all of Westeros,
which I've never understood
right?
why you just don't. If they could get up there,
yeah,
why
go
you just
around,
don't walk up there. But whatever, you walk in that valley. It's okay.
So the Hound outright told the Bloody Gate guards, which are very important guards in the Vale.
Okay.
Hey, Arya Stark showed up on your doorstep.
Right.
Wouldn't they tell Littlefinger? So wouldn't Littlefinger by the next episode know that Arya's alive?
Possibly.
That's a big deal.
Maybe they're thrown by them.
But
this is not in the book, right?
So in the book, but also you gotta remember in the book, like it's like 6, like you have to like ride a goat halfway up the mountain to get to
a real narrow
like there's an
yeah.
elevator you take. Like they're real. If he's
like the
only at the
story.
Bloody Gate, they may not be that close.
But he'll eventually know.
But I think
whereas he should.
Right. I don't think it's gonna be Littlefinger that knows. I think that's how Bran will get back on track.
It's a great scene, though.
I think they're gonna hear that. That's how Paul. Like I have no idea at this point because they've now changed so much. But I was thinking about that. Like for her to come out and say that, the rumors will get around that Arya was near there.
It's a great scene. It's a great deviation from the book. It allows them to still follow a lot of stuff with the book and put in a great scene and use a great set piece. Because didn't we see Littlefinger there a couple episodes ago?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be really cool.
Totally, and that scene's short. It's like a minute, right?
Yeah, I think it's just a way to get the Arya rumors.
It's good.
Up. I don't know, and I don't know who it's for. But someone will hear that rumor.
I would love for there to be a scene where Sansa is like in quarter talking to a guard and is like, by the way, Arya Stark showed up, and it's like she's like just to see her reaction, to know that.
Well, it's kind of like how they added how Jon Snow almost saw Bran.
Yeah,
right?
but I like it better them not knowing. I think it keeps the
one knew and the other
one
knew and the other didn't.
Right.
If Sansa, so if Sansa finds out she's with the Hound, who she knows very well, how would she react? It's like the Hound. She told you won't hurt me. Yeah. You know, she told the Hound once. You know, it's like I know I won't hurt you, and she lets her go. Yeah. So how would she? So is Arya safe with the Hound? Is she not safe?
Can I do some speculation that's not spoiler dragons?
Sure.
The borderline spoiler dragons.
Oh no.
The neck wound.
Dragonlings.
The neck wound that she wasn't allowed to cauterize with a flame.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a bigger thing than it may be?
We know. I mean,
are we spoiler dragon? Like that's a straight spoiler.
That's not, I mean,
it has parallels, but it's not like a 1-to-1.
It's we know.
I mean, they brought it up again.
We know where it's going, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a sword in the wall in the back. You know where.
We'll talk about it
You
later.
presented before. You got.
So it sounds like you guys think so. Okay.
All right, one more scene.
Two more scenes.
Well, two more scenes.
This
But we're back in King's
amazing
Landing
chat between the brothers.
Yeah, I mean, this cousin is not mentioned. Is he mentioned in any?
No,
of the
and
books?
honestly, I think it's just that your life is coming. Like because the whole time I'm sitting there watching it last night, going, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
Did somebody make a new wiki entry last night?
It's just like is there really a cousin that?
Well, now that Tyrion sentenced to death, they wanted to give him one more good speech.
Well, I think he needed one speech, and it was also just like that spiraling. Like I'm about to. He's convinced he's about to die. And he's just, his mind's just firing off in every direction of like every stupid thing he's never been able to figure out. And it's just like, it's also a happy memory, right? It's like they're reflecting back on when they were children. They're like,
it's kind of a happy memory. Then he was kicked by a donkey.
I don't think Tyrion's full of happy memories. So like, this is really as close as we get.
This scene is also really depressing. I mean, there are some really depressing undertones in this scene. Yeah. It's kind of like what we've seen in the last like 3 or 4 episodes since he's been in prison, basically, where it's like, you know, we have always been really distant. I've done some things that I regret. I'm sure you've said some things to me, me being Jamie, that you regret, Tyrion. But we still love each other. We still care for each other. I would get you out of here if I could. So let's enjoy our last time together and talk about bullshit. You know, like they really
no, like you don't talk about anything serious, right? Like you're not like if someone's like dying on their deathbed, you're not like let's talk about things that are gonna.
It's kind of like
it's
kind of an existential quandary that you would have, right? It's like, what is the point of this simpleton's act? You know, I love this. What's the sound effect? Like donk, 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 donk. It's really good. And I was surprised.
The face they make, it's great. It just happens.
It's the last offense. It's the last offense that this show can prove. We've raped women. We've killed people. Making fun of disabled people that's it. They've done. But
I think
circle is now complete.
But this is also supposed to be like 30 minutes before the fight, right? Or like 5 minutes before the fight, right?
This the bell rings.
The bell rings, and he walks out. Like that's what I'm saying.
But you don't really. But I'm saying as a viewer, you don't really pick up on that until it happens, right? And you're like, oh shit, this is like literally the 11th hour. And they hit it a little bit, and I thought that was well.
I think I knew it was coming, and I was like counting down.
I mean, what was the name of the episode?
Right.
But
well, you were talking about just structure, even with the seasons, how they lay out episodes. That like 9's the big fight, 10's the wrap up, 8's the somebody huge dying. Or
I think this is huge.
Even like 6, 7, 8. Yeah. But even in episodes, like if you hit that, I think 37 minutes is the point of no return with a Game of Thrones episode. Like from 37 to 40 minutes, wherever they are, that's it. This is the big something big's about to happen.
Yeah, my roommate was running around doing chores yesterday and was like, "Hey, you want to watch the show?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "I don't have a lot of time." I'm like, "Well, I bet you have about 40 minutes till you want to see the scene you want to see." And he's like, "Okay, I'll come down." And like 40 minutes later, he comes out. It's like right in the middle of this, and he's like, "Has it happened yet?" I'm like, "No, we still got the fight." It's like obviously he just knew how it was gonna play out.
The conversation is about madness, though, right? Like, what compels people to do things that no one else understands?
Potentially, my wife perceived it that the cousin was a metaphor for God, who is essentially walking around and being like, "Cat, you're dead. Ned, you're dead." You know, just like stomping on all these people, and he's like, "Why? What's the point? What are we striving for? What's the point?
Why are these people dying?
Why do I have these goals? I think I could be a good politician. I think I could change things for the better. Why the hell should I even do that? Because clearly there are forces at work that are just running around crushing people."
That's a good reading. I think it is supposed to be a little ambiguous, though. But I think it is supposed to represent something. But I think that's a really good read. That's a really good read.
To me, more than anything, it represented killing time. It represented the two of them just being like, you know what? You know, it's one stupid thing that you wouldn't think I would bring up or bother me. You know. Especially because one of the first times we see Tyrion, he's reading that dragon book and he talks to Jon Snow about like, read books, dude. You know, learn your history. And you know, here he confesses that he's like, yeah, I was learned, but I really spent a majority of my childhood like just pondering this guy. Because to me, that was the bigger question. You know, everything else was kind of laid out in black and white, but no one cared about this guy. You know, nobody even bothered to think what was going on in his brain.
And now he's gonna go make the Sentinel program. Exactly. That will hunt down all the other beetles.
But it goes to show, like, some people, like, why is Joffrey evil? Why is Sansa evil? Like, some people are just...
Who's evil? Sorry?
Not evil, but why do people do... sorry, Cersei. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Well, Sansa's even evil now.
Yeah, why do people do these outrageous things? And it's like, maybe that's just who they are. You know, this guy was just killing beetles, and Cersei's just killing peasants.
Yeah.
You know, because she likes it.
I mean, that was ultimately the answer when Ned died, and I lost my mind. And my wife was like, "That's life, dude. You know, like that's the show. You better get used to it now."
That's still probably the biggest thing ever.
Well, I think okay, now we're getting into face smushing time. I mean, this is another thing. This is just one of those moments that happens 1 or 2 times a season. Where you just throw your hands up and you're like, "I'm done. I'm out. I can't."
Oh, it's like the mountain.
What am I supposed to be excited about?
It's the mountain
just all your stock
donking the Viper's face, pretty much.
I mean, he says before he goes out, you know, Oberyn's girlfriend's like, you know, never leave me, and I never could, never, you know, I'll never leave you. Today's not the day I die. He says like 4 or 5 times, like winks to the audience, like, I'll get through this. Nope.
I mean, and also, like, yeah, you see the mountain in, like, previous shows literally just, like, look at people and they explode. Like, so in this, it's like, oh, shit, the fight's gone on for more than half a second. I bet he's going to live. And it just keeps going. You're like, this is great. It's totally going to happen. Like, there's that moment he loses the spear and you're like, oh, God, he's going to die. And then, like, he gets the other one and...
It's weird. This trial by combat idea is not unique to Game of Thrones, but you know, it's kind of like a medieval sort of science fiction-y fantasy thing. But it is funny that it is still at the end. It's Tywin's life on the line. It's like, and it is still a court verdict, right? It is a binary, yes or
Tyrion's
no.
And I know viewers at
Tyrion,
home,
sorry.
you can't see this, but the most amazing shot, and like the whole season's coming up with King's Landing in the background.
Oh wait,
Just to kind of set where they are.
Pycelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Pycelle's doing a speech. I love that Tywin cuts it.
Go on.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Like, why is Pycelle doing that speech? Shouldn't it have been whatever High Septon? But
He's
strange.
never in it.
High Septon's not a character in the
Yeah,
show, so
no, I
they needed
it
Pycelle.
will be.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
We've just seen him a couple times. I was like,
I
it's
wouldn't be
weird.
surprised
Like,
if
why
they
is it
handed
Pycelle?
those roles to Pycelle.
You can't.
Seriously.
You can't hand those roles to Pycelle.
The obvious
I mean-
foreshadowing with him asking for a helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just move on to like the Red Viper. That's one of my favorite characters in the last like 3 seasons. Like
Oh,
all
he's
his
been
scenes
great.
were wonderful.
He's-
All his scenes.
He was
were
pretty
amazing.
remarkable.
Yeah.
The whole time.
It's like
Yeah.
great
I
actor.
watched
great
the last
character.
episode before this one, and his scene with Tyrion is so good.
His scene
All
with
his
Cersei
bits.
when he's just trolling Cersei and Tywin. That's
And I actually wasn't a big fan of that scene, but I like how that shot.
Yeah.
I like how it sets up the scene with him and Tyrion, where he was like, "So your sister came to me and clearly was trying to steer me one way, but I didn't."
Well,
It doesn't seem like that.
He is so
conversation.
premeditated with the revenge of his sister. You know, the part where he points at Tywin.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like, should we?
Nope.
No.
Next
So
week.
good. No, we just saw this one
Yeah.
shot. That's like,
I just put
foreshadowing.
I giggled last night when I saw that. I was like, "Ooh!" And my friend was on their phone. I'm like, "Stop it! You're missing shit right now."
Yeah, there's a ton of foreshadowing. There are 2 lines specifically that people say. That are, you'll want to come back to after you finish the season out. Does this giant twirl? Great editing, like you were saying before. All these angles of seeing him twirling his.
Yeah, no, I was afraid they were gonna just try to do an Indiana Jones. You know, where the guy does all the stuff and the other guy just shoots him. And I was glad that like they let it be official.
So fight sequence though, I reread those 3 pages in the book. It happens like almost wound per wound. Like he gets him in the kneecap.
Yeah,
he like the back. Like all the strikes that the Viper does on the mountain are just like in the book, in the same order. Everything. It's like, wow, this is really good. And then obviously
sword.
the ending is the same. Like the way he squishes his eyes and the
I love
brain
just
spot.
all that. Like, no one says anything in this scene other than the Viper, but everyone's face is amazing. Like that second that Tyrion thinks he's getting out of it, Jaime's like excited.
Oh, Jaime kills me in this.
Cersei looks worried for a sec. It's just like the face. There's so much acting just in the faces in this scene. Yeah, like
Tywin doesn't show shit though. Tywin's just like
Cersei's resting bitch face throughout the whole thing. Like she's so unhappy.
Jaime's reactions were my favorite.
Yeah.
Like he's like, hey man, he's like watching a baseball game, and he's really excited. But yeah, we're just rewatching the scene. It's really
And
cool.
it's a great physical performance, like...
You know, it's captivating. I'm watching it again.
Is that him, Pascal, doing all that stuff?
I don't know.
Which
Because-
one's Pascal?
I doubt it.
the Red Viper?
I bet like all these wide shots
Stunt
are.
doubles.
Because there's some crazy like flips.
No,
and shit.
there's some
That's
shots where he's twisting the thing. Or he's definitely doing some of the twirling.
the
Yeah.
twirling
The
was so
showboating.
awesome.
I mean,
he's doing some of that.
I feel like anytime you don't see his face, it's not him. Like none of that. You can tell it's
Yeah.
him. Like that's him. Yeah.
The
So
props
there's
are,
a lot of stuff of him in
the
shadow.
props are great,
like-
by the way. That sword the Mountain is holding is insane.
Yeah, in the book there is
Shiny.
a stable boy in the crowd, and the Mountain misses a shot, and instead of hitting the Viper, hits the stable boy,
Yeah.
splits him in 2. So it's like, okay, that's not in the here.
Well, he's
but
using he's using a two-handed sword as a one-handed
one
sword.
hand.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
This is a giant sword that he's using.
in WoW, that's Titan's grip.
In Demon Souls, you have to have double the strength to wield it one-handed. But I also like how it's the way it's cut isn't too flashy, but I think some of the damage to the Mountain, not this one, but some of the damage to the Mountain is also slightly ambiguous.
Yeah.
It's like, did he hit him? Because the Mountain keeps going. I like it a lot.
Well, he's hitting the weak points though, like the hamstring. Like
Yeah,
the little
But
dents
I
in
think I like how it's like there's not like giant spurts of blood or close-ups and stuff.
This is my
under
favorite.
all that armor though.
Oh man, Tyrion's face in this scene. So we're at the point now the Mountain's down, and Tyrion's just he's like a little kid that's like. It's like how I feel every day, like in the end of school when it's like 2:55, and you're like, "Is it 3:00 yet? Like, just finish it." And he won't.
He's straight up pointing Tywin like, "You motherfucker, you're the one."
Oh yeah,
who
like,
gave the order."
but Tyrion here is just like, just do it. Like, cut his throat out, let me live. Like,
And bam, he falls. Oh man, this is so insane.
And at first
teeth come out.
the teeth just oh Jesus.
And you see his mouth open here, and you see all his teeth are missing.
gone.
No, the
Yeah.
eye gouging, because they always show like the start of an eye gouge, but they don't ever actually show it.
Like Tyrion's face,
oh,
Cersei's face is the eye. Oh, Jesus!
And you don't see the crunch, but you see the aftermath of the crunch, right?
Oh,
I just imagine that is just insane.
Okay,
and Cersei just her smirk.
So super gory, but I like the gore for more than just.
It is
gore.
the mountain.
It is the mountain,
Jamie
but
just
I like
so disappointed.
I like you obviously have bloodlust. He's been talking about the first time we see Oberyn, he's like, I want to kill the mountain. I want to kill Tywin. I want to kill the Lannisters.
No,
I want
he
to
did
exact my
nothing.
revenge. So you're like so bloodthirsty. You're like, oh, I can't wait to see this fight. And the show's like, look at it. This is it. This is what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
And
this
it's
is.
like,
I mean,
credits have no music, right?
He's
for a while, yeah. That comes in
Yeah.
later, but yeah, just silence for a good 5-6 seconds.
20 years he's been waiting for this moment.
Yeah.
To fight the mountain, like 15, whatever it's been, like
And when
probably
the plane
almost
crashed
20,
down,
right?
he thought,
19 in the
well,
book.
isn't
Yeah.
this nice?
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you
you
think?
Jinx.
Well, Tyrion throws up when
What did
the
he do?
Viper dies.
In the book?
Like as soon as it happens,
That would have been
Yeah.
such an amazing end to
Yeah.
that episode.
his
Okay.
bacon or something.
I gotta wrap this up. We have multiple,
we're definitely wrapping it up.
And then
Okay.
double episode next Monday, right?
Yeah,
So in 2 weeks, we're going to do a double episode where obviously there's no way in hell we could do an episode
me-
next week with E3.
let me promo real quick. So we got E3 starting Monday morning, 9 a.m. Jones and I. And
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
he'll be
behind
running
the
all the
scenes.
B-roll. I'll be the one yelling at everyone in their ears. We've got tons of guests coming on stage. 12 hours that day, all the press conferences. So that means no Gametrailers of Thrones, but
That
we'll
evening,
do a
yeah.
double episode in 2 weeks, and then I think we're gonna do one more spoiler episode where I think we just do one episode where we
It's the tail end.
we just chat about everything that we
The
think is
wrap-up.
gonna
The
happen.
spoiler dragon
So we'll
wrap-up.
do a couple more episodes, but next week we're obviously off because we got
E3.
E3.
Yeah.
Next week is just I mean, from the if you haven't seen the preview, but it's kind of a straightforward episode.
It's gonna be a lot of North.
Yeah. So there will be stuff to talk about, but not as dense as what we just saw, for example.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the NHL, Game of Thrones, and video games, this is a very exciting time to be alive, people. But yeah, big week. Lots of fun reasons to come back to GT, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks on Gametrailers of Thrones. Thank you for sticking through us if you have this whole time. I'm thrilled that we were able to keep going with the show and keep chatting with you guys. We know we love to do it, and thanks for giving us an excuse to watch the show. See you guys in 2 weeks.